Hello friends, this is from Chambers and today I will be taking a new session, physiology session on ECGs, the basics, the very basics of ECG. But it would be of a physiology level, not of a cardiology level that we will be taking all those in-depth ECGs, but it's just for the basic. But it is important to understand those ECGs in the third year also. So if we have a basic understanding of ECG, then we can diagnose the diseases. Okay. For that, before starting that ECG, I want to take a small topic which will help you in understanding the concept of ECG. That is the conduction system of the heart. That is the conduction system of the heart. See guys, conduction system we have understood, but how the cardiac impulse is traveling through this heart. As we already know, we have a SA node. Let me take this pointer. Please look at this pointer. So if I talk about this region, this is the SA node. And SA node we know is causing, it is having that pre-potential, it is causing depolarizations. It is that part of the cardiac, specialized cardiac tissue which is able to undergo automaticity, which is able to undergo spontaneous depolarizations. Okay. So that means the origin in a normal heart, the origin of the cardiac impulse must be an SA node, and it should be generating some action potentials so that those action potentials can spread to the entire heart. And the system which will be helping in this conduction process will be the conduction system. As we have read already, that conduction system, I hope, the dromotropic effects, the chronotropic effects, the inotropic effects, isn't it? Basically, this SA node, which is present at the junction of superior vena cava at the right atrium, basically, the impulse will start traveling to the muscle fibers of the atria from the SA node. And we know there is also one tract that was the interatrial tract going to the left atrium, sorry, and depolarizing the atrium at the same time. So once an impulse is leaving from the SA node, there should be, listen to the word, simultaneous depolarization of both atria. This all region you should get depolarized at the same time. That means it should contract also at the same time pretty much. And this atrial depolarization is being finished at a span of 0.1 seconds. So whole atrial depolarizations as taught in the cardiac cycle, 0.1 seconds. And then we have this AV node, where the conduction is very much slow. You know what is happening in the AV node is that once the SA node is sending the impulse through those internodal tracts, I hope we remember those bundles of Thorel, bundles of Vankeback. Okay. So once it reaches this AV node, from this AV node, it's not that the AV node will conduct the impulse at the same time. The AV node will hold the current for some time. That holding of current by the AV node after it is getting the impulse from the SA node will be called AV nodal delay. So AV nodal delay is a normal phenomenon happening in your cardiomyocardial tissue. AV nodal delay should happen. It is a normal thing. So we have an AV nodal delay. Why there is an AV nodal delay? Why AV node is keeping the current for some time after it is getting the current from the SA node? Why it's not giving the current at the same time to the ventricles? The reason is that we had some transitional fibers. I hope you remember once we made an SA node and we made like this, and we made a thick something like this, and we had those fibers here. Those fibers were called transitional fibers. Do we remember? We had that like this. So these were the transitional fibers, guys. So these transitional fibers which are connecting these two nodes, that is the SA and the AV node, or I can call the internodal tracts. And these fibers are very much short, very much small. That's why they conduct the impulse at a very slow rate at around 0.02 seconds, meter per second. And at the same time, AV node will also conduct the impulse at the very slow rate. The another reason for this is that if you take the AV nodal cell, if I take this AV node and if I take one cell, so the cell and the another cell in the AV node, they have a very less or few gap junctions. Do you think the current will spread more fastly or slowly? It will become very much slow because the windows which you have are very much few. So you won't be able to conduct. You will give the depolarization, but not that, of not that quality. Slowly it will be going there. Okay. So this is the first the reason. So this property, this ability, this capacity of the AV node to slow, to block that impulse is called detrimental contraction. What is detrimental contraction? Detrimental contraction. So the ability of the AV node to block the rapid impulse, is called detrimental contraction. So blocking the rapid impulse by the AV node. And what are the uses of this AV nodal delay? The AV nodal delay uses are that if you have started the depolarization in the SA node, this depolarization in the SA node is meant first to depolarize the atrial tissue, to start the atrial depolarization. And the beauty of this phenomenon is that if you are depolarizing the atria before the ventricle, you are actually helping in atrial systole. And you are letting the ventricles to remain in the ventricular diastole. That means atria will start filling into the ventricles. That's a beautiful thing. Atrial depolarization should happen before the ventricular depolarization so that atria can fill all the blood into the ventricle so that an adequate ventricular filling is happening and an adequate end diastolic volume is being produced and an adequate stroke volume is being provided to the systemic vasculature. If it was not there, if AV node would not had been there, what would have happened is that if SA node is giving the charge and AV node is giving the charge at the same time to the ventricles, ventricle also contracts at the same time, atria also contract at the same time. Means synchrony is lost. The contraction synchrony is lost. There is an asynchrony happening. There should be a rhythm so that the atria contracts first. Ventricle is relaxing for that time so that we can fill the ventricle as a common sense. And from the ventricle, you start the contraction. Atria should not do anything. So this is allowing this AV nodal delay. What this nodal delay is doing is that this AV nodal delay is not letting the SA node to fire to send that impulse directly to the ventricles also. So AV node is helping as a gatekeeper. It is not letting the SA node to send that impulse at the same time to the ventricles. And it is also keeping the SA node's desire. The SA node's objective is not, the SA nodal objective is actually to depolarize the whole heart. But that objective, the prior to that objective, you have the objective of depolarizing the atria. But as a law of cardiac output, you can't do two things at the same time. That's why AV nodal is coming into play. AV node has a big role to play in filling the ventricles. Are we clear with this? So we don't want the ventricles to get excited at the same time when the atria are getting excited or before the atria. So it should not happen even before the atria. It should happen in a rhythmic manner. And this slow AV nodal conduction is also giving you a very benefit. The benefit is that, for example, I give you an example, a pathological example. I give you a disease that is called atrial fibrillation. If I talk about atrial fibrillation, the atrial fibrillation is that atria is beating at a very high fast rate, about dash. I have taught you in the beginning about dash. Excuse me. About dash. How much? What is the beats per minute atria is beating at in the atrial fibrillation? Oh my dears, I'm talking about atrial AFib. It's a pathology. Atrial fibrillation, the beats per minute are this is what is happening, that for example in the atrial fibrillation the atria is beating at a very high rate. That is, atria is producing the impulses at a very high impulses. That means atria is beating 300 times per minute. Oh my god, atria is firing 300 times per beat, 300 beats per minute. So do you want these impulses to reach the ventricles also and start the ventricular fibrillation? Do you want those impulses to reach? If atria is beating at a rate of 300 beats per minute, do you want this to start the ventricles also? No. So is AV node at the same time giving me the protection of slowing down these impulses so that ventricle also does not go into the fibrillation? So we don't want these electrical impulses from the atria to reach the ventricles because this AV nodal delay is helping me. We don't want the ventricles to contract at the same rate when the atria was contracting. So that's how ventricle. Why you don't want, by the way? Why you don't want, by the way? It was good for you that it was beating at 300 beats per minute and it could have given you a very nice cardiac output. Why it's not giving? Why you don't want the ventricles to beat at 300 beats per minute? No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying normally atria will conduct those impulses to the ventricle. It's not that asynchrony will happen. So why you don't want? Because I told you, because you won't let the ventricles to get filled. You will decrease the diastolic time. The diastolic filling time will get decreased with 300 beats per minute. Contracting. So you are not giving the ventricles the time to get filled. So that's how your this AV nodal delay is helping you. Or you have beta blockers. Beta blockers, they are decreasing your heart rate. How? They tell the AV node to become more delayed. They tell the AV node to become more delayed. So what they do is, if I give the beta blocker here, beta blocker tells the AV node to please promote the AV nodal delay. Please do AV nodal delay. So do you think that vagus should be stimulated? Do you think that vagal stimulation can also cause AV nodal block? If I am doing AV nodal block, isn't it? Do you remember that thing when I told you that I told the patient once in my lifetime, a patient came to me and I told him that please go to the washroom, do some straining, because I was actually activating his vagus and I knew that AV nodal delay will increase. If I block the AV nodal region, the fibrillations from the atria will not go to the ventricle, and ventricular fibrillations will be, ventricle will not be able to get excited. So I will be having controlling the, ventricular fibrillation also. Are we clear? So this is the beauty of this AV nodal delay, that which is happening, helping us in the, preventing the impulse going to the ventricle. Okay. And you also know that we have another conduction system. This was all about SA and AV node. We have the rapid conduction system happening in the ventricles, isn't it? Do you know that rapid, which places was the rapid happening? Purkinje system. That is called the His-Purkinje system. His Purkinje system is very much fast. See, if a thing comes from here, It comes here fast. So it is coming from here. Here it will give a delay and then fast. Okay, are we clear? SA node, AV node, it will go some delay and then clear. So the fast is very much spread. So in the bundle branches, in the Purkinje fibers, you have a very fast conduction. You have a very fast conduction. Now, when you have conducted your impulse, I told you the fast conduction system is there, isn't it? You have a rapid conduction system. See, Purkinje fibers, they have a property. The property is that Purkinje system, they have thick fibers. If I take the Purkinje system here, if I take the Purkinje fibers, if I take them here, they're very much thick. They're very much thick. Okay, means they're. I won't say. I would say the diameter is large. The diameter is large. They have a large diameter. I'm talking about Purkinje fibers because we said they are rapid. And do we remember that the slope of depolarization, their slope is very much steep. Their slope is very much steep. Okay, their slope is very much steep. Clear? So that's why they are able to rapidly. So when you have a steep slope, that means you are actually, heart rate, you will be getting that, fast effect, isn't it? Yeah. So that's why it's able to, Purkinje fiber, the conduction velocity is maximum. You know how much is the conduction velocity? It's 4 meters per second. Wow. 4 meters per second is the conduction velocity, maximum conduction velocity in the Purkinje, because God knew very nice slope of the bags, exactly 4. So you can remember from 4 and 4, isn't it? You can remember at least this. If I tell you what is Purkinje, you can say 4 and then 4 you remember, yeah, that's slope of depolarization. So this is how you study medicine. Okay. How much time does it take for the wave to spread from the septum? This is the septum. From the septum to the Purkinje. Now all the ventricles, just 0.08 to 1 seconds. 0.08 to 0.1 seconds. It takes this much time for the depolarization wave. Can you see the fast rapidness? Now here is a concept. The concept is about the which part is getting depolarized first, current. So this is why these arrows I have kept here. I kept this diagram to make you understand. And this is the basics of ECG also. If you understand this diagram with just in 5 and 10 minutes, your life will become easy. Okay. Before this, please tell me, can you tell me what is the conduction velocity in SA node? 0.05 seconds. SA node has, okay, let me write some conduction velocities. 0.05 meter per second is the conduction velocity in SA node. Okay, what about the atria? I mean the muscle. It's around 0.3 to 0.5 meter per second. What about those tract fibers? Do you remember those? Those tracts? Yeah. So these tracts, how much is the 1.0 meter per second? And then we reach the AV node. So what about AV node? AV node will show 0.02 to 0.05 meter per second. This is we are talking about the conduction velocities of the different tissues of the heart. Okay. What about the Purkinje? Yeah, Purkinje, you can tell me 4. So if you give a range, Purkinje range will be around 2 to 4 meter per second, and highest is 4 meter per second. Okay. What about the ventricular muscle? Ventricular muscle is having less than 1 meter per second, less than 1 meter per second. See, from SA node, you remember the story of internodal fiber. Now I am talking about the conduction pattern. Okay. See, if you see this diagram, can you see the SA node has fired in all directions. It is sending the charges, isn't it? Okay. So atria is getting activated. Atrial activation happened. Easy. Then you went to the AV node. Now from this AV node, I want you to understand a story. You remember AV nodal delay happened. Now after that AV nodal delay, what is the pattern of current flowing? That we will be making some vectors. Do we remember the vectors, some arrows to understand the things? So the vectors I will be making is, can we see he has drawn this SE node and at the same time he is depolarizing them. He has depolarized this region, isn't it? Atrial depolarization happened. Now you went to the AV node. You are in the AV node, guys. This is the AV node. From this AV node, what is the pattern now? So the pattern is that, remember, when the depolarization wave reaches this, what is this septum? Interventricular septum. Interventricular septum. When this depolarization current reaches the ventricular septum, you will be seeing the current starts at the left side of interventricular septum. The current starts at the left side of, so write like an arrow, please. Write like an arrow. The current starts at the, so story is about this. This is the story about this. This story is important. Left side of interventricular septum, IVS I will write. After this, the current will move from left to right in the middle portion. Is this the middle portion of interventricular septum? See, initial portion of, if I see the initial portion of interventricular septum, that was the left side getting the, and in the when it reaches the middle portion, the current reaches the middle portion of the interventricular septum, it will move from left to right, isn't it? Isn't the direction shown? It will depolarize from this side. It depolarizes from this side. Not getting the answers from the people. It will depolarize from this to this side. So there will be left to right, L to R, depolarization in the middle part of the septum. Then the wave spreads like this to the apex of the heart. This is the apex. Then the wave spreads to the apex. So I should write like this. The left side of the IVS is getting depolarized. It starts at the left side. Okay. And then from it goes to the left to right when it reaches the middle portion of the interventricular septum. And from that, the wave of depolarization then goes to the apex of the heart. Yes, it went into the apex of the heart. And then it is running along the ventricular walls, isn't it? Ventricular walls. See where it is finally going, like this. Can we see how it is going? Let me take the pointer for you people. Can we see the wave went like this, and then it depolarizes from this, and then it goes to the apex, this. Can we understand, or we are sleeping? This is the most fundamental principle of understanding the conduction system. Left to right in the middle of the interventricular septum, then goes to the ventricular walls along the, this groove is called the atrioventricular groove. This groove is called AV groove. So this AV groove goes to the, so what is the depolarization pattern? Is the depolarization happening from endo to epicardium or epicardium to endocardium? So the depolarization is happening from endocardium to epicardium, going like this out. Endo to epi, very nice answer. So it went from left to right and then it went to the, yeah, then when it went into the walls of the ventricular walls. And finally it, it started depolarizing the endocardium to epicardium, and the procedure was endocardium to epicardium. endocardium to epicardium. So endocardial surface to epicardial surface. Which is the last part of the heart to get depolarized? The question is, which is the last part of the heart to get depolarized? The last part to get depolarized. Yeah, you will tell me. What is the last part to get depolarized? The last part to get depolarized is postero posterobasal, I think. Yeah, it should be posterobasal. So last part to get depolarized is posterobasal portion of left ventricle. Left ventricle. And the and pulmonary conus. If I go into the anatomy, pulmonary conus and uppermost portion of septum. Are we clear, guys? So is the current getting diminished here, finishing here at this fibrous tissue? Is it diminishing like this? It went like this and then it went to the apex and then it started depolarizing like this. So isn't it diminishing at the basal side? So this is your basal side of the heart. This is the apical side of the heart. So it is diminishing at this portion. Are we clear or we are playing, my dears? Yeah. Can we draw this with hand? Can we draw this with hand so that we can enjoy? No, we can enjoy. Heart is so interesting. We want to become cardiac surgeons, isn't it? So see how we will do. I won't take this diagram. I will make myself. Okay, why to listen? Even if now we have concepts, isn't it? We have concepts. So why will we listen now? Why will we listen? Okay. So see, if I make a small heart, although I have a big heart, but yeah, small heart here. So I make a heart. I make a septum like this. Okay, this is the septum. And if I make this as SA node, if I make this as SA node, and SA node is firing in all directions, and this SA node is the intention is to get all this depolarized and reach the. So can I say first step became the atrial activation? Did I activate the atria? First I gave a SA node and then it activated the atrial activation. Now can I make this the second step? This is one. Can I make the second on the same? Okay, let me make full diagrams for you. Let me make full diagrams for you. I can work smartly like this. I can do this. I can do this. Then I can do this. Then I can do this. Okay, now the same heart, what I do is I clean this and then can I do this in the middle portion? Exactly, it goes like this. Can I make a big vector like this? Yeah, isn't it? So can I say septal activation in the middle? Second step was septal activation from L to R. Clear? Will it at the same time activate the uh, anteroseptal region? Will it activate all this region? Yeah. Will it activate all this? Anteroseptal region. Let me take another pink color. Can I say at the same time when it was depolarizing, it can activate the anteroseptal region, this yellow which I am making? Yeah. Yes. So can I say anteroseptal region is activated? Yeah. So anteroseptal. We are talking about septa. Okay, septa. Anteroseptal region of myocardium is getting activated. What is the third next? It becomes. What is the third? Let us paste it here. Yeah. So what is the third? The third is third will be I will be getting like this. Can I shade this like this? I will be getting a depolarization like this. Finally spreading to this. Okay, here. So this will be called walls of the myocardium getting activated. But from this is to be remembered, endocardium to epicardium. Endocardium to epicardium is the depolarization pattern. Clear? Which parts are now getting late depolarized? So late depolarization is happening in the basal regions. Very nice. So we have basal, posterobasal, isn't it? So posterobasal portion of left ventricle gets last, pulmonary conus last, upper portion of septum last, uppermost portion, this uppermost portion guys, uppermost portion last. Are we clear with this concept? This is the concept where everyone fails. They don't study like this. What they do is they directly start thinking that it is atrial depolarization, ventricular depolarization, but we don't. How can we understand the ECG then? See, current is going from here to here. Can we remember these arrows? This is a beautiful diagram which I actually love. And we see the lastly he has shown this arrow here. The last to get depolarized in this region also. Are we clear? Now I have a question for you. Okay, the question is that if I destroy AV node, what will happen? If I destroy the AV node, what will happen? I destroy this AV node. I destroy this. Now what will happen is that AV node will not be able to get that AV nodal delay. AV nodal delay is lost. Second thing, the most important thing is that atria will be contracting at its own rate and ventricles will beat at the own rate. That means they are independent of each other, and you already know atria beat at a rate of 72 beats per minute and ventricular have also their own rate of beating, that is 30 to 40. So there is a dissociation. There will be a dissociation of atria and ventricle. Okay, they are beating at their own rates. This is called idioventricular rhythm. So if they ask you what will happen if I destroy the AV node, I get a rhythm that is called idioventricular rhythm. Please understand. Idioventricular rhythm. Are we clear? Have I taught this already that every myocardial tissue is having the potential of starting a beat? So this concept is called idioventricular rhythm. Are we clear? Now this was the process of depolarization. Now what will be the sequence of repolarization? Who will repolarize first? I'm telling you, you were depolarizing. Listen to the question. Listen to the question. Don't jump. Don't go to the diagnosis. Listen the concept. I depolarized from endocardium to epicardium. Okay, only first year people will answer me. But now they will repolarize also. If you did the positive charges, then you should also become negative, isn't it? That is why your heart will come into diastole. It's only after this that your heart will come into diastole. So you tell me now the pattern which is most important and to understand the ECG also. Which will repolarize first? Yeah, beautiful answer. So answer is that, listen, understand this fact. The depolarization pattern was from endocardium to epicardium. So I will write it for you if you can understand. The depolarization pattern was from endocardium, that is from inside to outside you were coming, epicardium. But this principle gets reversed in repolarization, reversed. So who will repolarize first? Epicardium gets repolarized first. Epicardium repolarizes first. Okay. And septum and endocardium will repolarize the last. Septum and endocardium will repolarize the last. Are we clear with this? Is there any doubt in this concept? So let us reach to the next part. You can watch the next video. I'm starting the ECG. Thank you.